The odds are against you.
The odds are always against me.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Real Rap Review. This is JP Bonilla and today I'll be reviewing Gladiator II, so let's get into it. This is of course the sequel to the 2000 film Gladiator, which had Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix, and of course Ridley Scott is back here to direct this film just like he did for the original, so nice to have him back. And what did I think of it? Well, I think it was pretty good for the most part. There were some issues I had with it, but overall it was pretty solid. So let's get into the whole gist of this film. Now, this film is focused on Lucius, the kid from the original Gladiator film. Of course, he's a lot older. He's played by Paul Mescal, and he is enslaved and turned into a potential gladiator, and eventually becomes one, of course. So now, the cast here, I think they all do a great job. I think the casting for this film was on point, and I think everyone was casted very, very well. Paul Mescal is who portrays Lucius here. He does a great job with his character. Pedro Pascal plays the general. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not even going to bother trying to. Pedro Pascal does a great job, of course. He always just kills it in every role he's in. I'm not going to lie, he's just an awesome actor. Connie Nielsen returns as Lucille, and she does a good job as well. And also you have some new characters. You have Joseph Quinn, another actor who is coming up in the ranks and, you know, having a lot of popularity, especially coming off Stranger Things with his role as Eddie Munson. He is here playing Emperor Geta. And then you have Denzel Washington playing Maxinerus, I think that's how you say his name, but I tried my best. And also, last but not least, you have Fred Herringer. I think I said that name right. I probably didn't. He is playing Emperor Karagala, who is, of course, the co-emperor and brother of Geta. So, yeah, very good cast. They've all been casted super well. They do a great job with their roles. I really like. The other things I really like too is the look of this film. Did you guys know that this film was taped and filmed, in 51 days? 51 days is how long it took for this film to be filmed. And it's crazy because a lot of other films take a while. For example, Joker Folie à Deux, it took 83 days, I believe, 81 to 83 days, somewhere around that time range. But it is crazy how amazing this film looks. I think it looks beautiful visually. It does a great job with all the visuals, and I think the CGI here was pretty good for the most part, especially with some of the animals. I think they do a great job with it. At some points it looked a little bit off to me, but you know, it wasn't anything like so distracting or whatever. I think it looked very, very good. The whole setting, atmosphere, just phenomenal. I loved it. And of course, like I said, the acting was good, the visuals were good. So what does that mean with the story? That's where it kind of falls off a little bit with me, because I think the story for the most part is fine, but I think it could have been so much better in some ways. I don't know, it's just kind of, I don't want to say it's like a full-on repeat of the first film, because it kind of isn't at some points, but it kind of is. It kind of is. It kind of feels like it takes a lot of inspiration from the first film, which makes sense, but like sometimes it does play on those beats like again and again and again. It's like, oh wow, I kind of already saw this film before. But of course they do some new things too. Like, there's sharks and everything. That's not the only selling point, but they do some different stuff with the story too. And I think Denzel Washington's character here, without spoiling, I think he is the guy here that makes it a little bit more interesting, and because of his background and everything. And I think he did a great job, like I said, and I think his character was pretty cool. I liked him in the movie a lot, and I think he helped this movie and the story just kind of mesh a little bit better more. But I think Pedro Pascal's character here was very, very, he was like going one way, and he was getting interesting to see you know, how his character was changing, because he starts off as a way different character than how he ends, and I wish we got a little bit more of him, but I feel like he wasn't here enough, and I feel like they turned something interesting into just kind of nothing with Pedro Pascal's character, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think the story here was just kind of, you know, it was kind of not there. Like, for me, it was fine. it was watchable, and I think that it was still a pretty good movie. But I do think the action scenes and the acting and the visuals carried it a lot. And if this wasn't Ridley Scott, I don't know if this movie would have succeeded. But I think the story, like I said, it's fine. It's not like bad or anything. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm making it, worse than it is. I think it's a fine story. It's just, it does play off the beats of the original film a little bit. I will not be lying to you. But I do like Kara Gallett's character here too, because Fred, the actor who portrays him, he has a lot of, like, from what I read, he had a lot of inspiration from the Joker and also Sid Vicious from the Sex Pistols in terms of look and personality. So I like that, you could kind of see that in here. Same with Joseph Quinn. From what I read also, he also had a lot of inspiration from Gary Oldman's character in The Fifth Element, great movie by the way, as well as Philip Seymour Hoffman's character in Mission Impossible 3. So they took a lot of great inspiration from such great roles, and I loved that a lot. And I got to give credit to Joseph Quinn and Fred Herringer for that as well. So yeah, overall, like I said, it's a pretty good movie, I think. Like I said, I take some issue with the story, but it doesn't mean it's a bad story. I think it's still pretty good. I still think they do a lot of new things with it. And overall, I think this movie is 4 stars for me because, like I said, the fights for me, personally, the story wasn't bad enough to hurt the movie. It does take a star off it, though. But I think the action, I think the acting, I think the music, the visuals, just all of that make this a 4-star movie for me. So what do you guys think? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys next time for the next Real Rap Review. Have a good one, guys.